Hi Capricorn, how are you? Welcome to the space, new or returning, of course, Capricorn. Or it is a bit late, if you can see by the clock. I was planning on going to bed and then I realized that you're reading. I had already recorded it, but it went somewhere, so I felt I had the energy and the time to do it, so here we are again. What are you using your time and energy on? I see, don't worry about the thing. Well, I guess like we just said, if there's something that you forget about or something, you're able to fix something easier than you think. Like if there is a mild mistake, it's not that big a deal. You made a wish a long time ago too, right? For something to bloom or something to blossom, something to become more hardy, maybe a bit stronger, more peaceful, right? And I sense that actually there could be a place where you're at now. If peace is what is within you, then I heard you don't need any luck. Do you know what I mean? I mean, does it need hard work? Does it need your effort? Yes, but you don't need luck. If you have peace within you about it. I do sense with the retrograde energy, although I try not to label things in that way because, well, it makes a stereotype, right? And then there's judgments around it, and then people use these as excuses for behavior, right? Instead of taking the responsibility up for themselves. But if you are coming out of a hard spot, or you know there's some shadow work that you're working through that's intense and I heard purposeful, I suppose this could also be, if it is intense and you're unaware of it, I guess this could be, I heard you could be really tired, right? And I just split to the hangman, which I guess in some ways can represent sleep. And then we have the devil. So, are your dreams okay right now? What are you dreaming about? Are you worried about somebody? Maybe you need to rest your head about that too. I heard people do what they do. And then I heard do your job. Which entails many things, right? Your job. What is your job right now? Do you like it? What's a really fun thing that happened? Like, what's a thing that you learned via your job? What has it taught you for a lesson, maybe recently? Okay, so you have 4 groups of 2, and then a center card. Okay. Oh, speaking of that retrograde energy, for lack of a better term, I do see that the further I go along, closer into this time frame, it seems to be that there's a bit of, well, I guess Pluto will be going direct soon, right? Saturn too. So this is kind of like, make sure you get all the corners clean, right? You want to touch up so that you're ready, and you have a very good. This is Saturn and Pluto too. Is like, to me, is like a structure in a soulful way, right? And also building peace in yourself with the past. We can drag it along, right? What do you bow your head to? Who do you bow to? You know, like what humbles you, Capricorn? So the Three of Rods and the Two of Pentacles. They're really pretty cards. They're Chrysula ovata and the Willow. And then we also have, oh, this is going to test my Saturn, Calistegia. Really pretty, sort of like a morning glory. Then we have a 5-petaled. They both have 5. What's going on here? Well, again, I feel like most of you asked for something and you received it. But this might have even been a few years ago that you asked for it. You know, this could have had something to do with Uranus. Maybe it is about 3.5 years ago. Maybe you want to think back then. Maybe that's time frame. That's something good to reference. Yes, Ace of Swords. It'll be a very nice time to tap into. Where were you then? Where are you now? There definitely should be some changes there, right? And do you feel, again, like that those changes have been liberating and empowering, or has this felt like more like a restriction? And there probably still should be a little bit of restriction or like a little bit of concern about what because there's going to be such an awareness when Uranus moves through energy, right? Aquarian energy moves through something. It's very open and vast, right? And it's meant to shake things up, so it moves it around, you know. It's sort of like I just saw someone scraping their tongue and how it will make you gag. But that's actually very helpful because what it does is it stimulates your inner organs to almost cause like a reverse, right? To get something to move out of its space. It's almost like plunging the toilet. Do you know what I mean? That's sort of what I guess that's a bit of what Uranus does too, especially in Taurus, right? It's going to do something physical in Taurus. If it was in air, this would be a different energy. Although either way, it's changing the reality of, I guess, who we all are, like the definition of ourselves, right? What is that definition of you right now? I heard, how have you improved? It's okay that your heart's still a little sad about some things. But I say, please don't allow that to take too much of the focus. It reminds me when I was watching this Turkish soap opera, where the grandfather was telling the son, like, you know, you can't build happiness upon misery, right? Doesn't matter how much you gloss it over. It won't do that. But that doesn't mean that we're not here to feel. And so what are you still sad about in your heart? It's okay to feel that, Capricorn. I also feel like Leo and Sagittarius's readings will be helpful for you. If you are feeling a little bit drained or your energy's something's a little bit off in a way, like maybe if you're questioning where you are, or I mean, I heard there are changes and there will be changes, but there's something, again, I feel like old to sweep up in the corner, at least to pick it up, know what it is, put it on the shelf. so you can be like, okay, yes, this, I know where this is, right? Someone says, where is that? Where is this? And you're like, oh, you know, third shelf down on the right. East corner, right? If you know where it is, then you can't lose it. And I see you can attend to it when necessary. If it is something you're working through, again, I see a little bit more in a shadow because you have lovers in the reverse with the Tower card. It's interesting to me. These aren't in the reverse, but it came out that way. So, I mean, the flowers look the same. How did your last relationship end? Especially like, well, yeah, how did your last relationship end? Because whenever it ends, it's actually good for both people, right? But whether both people are accepting is usually, with both people being accepting, that's usually not the case. Some people pretend, right? Some people pretend, or they stay for, I don't know, money or security, or they stay for obligation, or they stay because of fear. Now we're talking about past energy because this is important to know because as you move forward, let's see. Page of Cups in the Chariot. Yes, because I heard there's an emotional revolution here. Like there's a capacity to be more creative and actually more, like I heard, softly loving with that which you're connecting with, right? Again, I see emotional creation. You know, jump from the Five of Cups to the Page of Cups. But I guess we had to talk about whatever we're talking about here. So I heard, let's talk about it again just for a second. How did your last relationship end? How long did it last? Since it's over, when did you know it was over? Did you deny it? If so, why? If you're still sad about it, why? Do you blame anybody? Because I'm seeing a message again. It's like when anything completes, whatever that may be, then this is actually good for everyone. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like that in the moment. Most of the time not. But it is usually the right time for everything because everything, I feel like a lot of folks know that now, right? About divine timing. About understanding, this is Saturnian sort of stuff, you know? We just made up the clock to try to figure it out. So I don't know. That's another story. So, I see you should check the fluids in your car. There's definitely success in something creative too. I guess this is also moving on from childish emotions also. You just see the pretty colors. Excuse me. You know, moving on from immaturity. If you do have children or there's children in your life, remember your children are not your own. as Khalil Brown says, it may be wise for you to read at this time. It's a great book. Wise, you know. Which is interesting. Even the thing, for instance, that you could create is not your own. Libra talked about that. But they were talking about desires. You're talking about creation. That's cool. I like that comprehension there. Let's see this next one. The World and the Knight of Wands. Well, I guess this is holding a little bit of impulsivity too, also in an immature way. The Knight sits below the Tower as well. So, have you ever been cheated on? Have you ever cheated on somebody? I also see like sexual satisfaction. I need more water. Hold on a second. Like, are you emotionally satisfied now? Were you emotionally satisfied in your previous relationship? What else is going on here? You may need to get 2 new tires. Like, or maybe you need to rotate your tires too. I see pray for the world, but don't worry about it. Worrying doesn't help anything. My friend Allie told me this once, and I'll probably not phrase it correctly because I'm not good at reiteration, but it's like worry is like a rocking chair. It doesn't get you from here to there. You know what I mean? Like, just sitting still in it. Ooh, Scorpio energy. Okay. Yeah, with the 9 of Wands. Yeah, understanding where you are in the scenario helps. What do we have for time? 18, 13. Let's choose an astrological card for each of these groups. Capricorn. Okay. So we have Aries, Gemini, parts of fortune. That's on the Chariot. That's really beautiful, actually. And we have Scorpio. But that landed on that with the moon at the bottom. Maybe the full moon. No, the crescent moon in November. I want to cross-reference this because these are in French and my France is not so good. I remember train in French class. Je m'appelle Raaji. Let's see. Okay, so this card represents triumph, sacrifice, and preservation. So I see, remember, take a positive outlook. I don't feel like right now is a big time for change exactly. Like you could make some small adjustments in relation to your larger vision. You can make some small adjustment. That's what's helpful. The Aries is going to want to push it forward. I heard you're going to succeed anyway, so don't. That word sacrifice is kind of popping up. It's like, because remember the Scorpios with the Knight of Wands in the world, like that's, the world is about closing karmic cycles, right? I guess this could also be like a savior complex. Remember, peace in yourself, peace in your heart. Like a true contentment. And there's the peace lily. Pretty. Daylily. Well, that's kind of what love is, right? That helps the world probably the most. That'll help a family the most, Helps your stability the most. Stability in general. Helps that which grows around you, right? The stuff we talked about your ex, this is important. How was your communication with that? I mean, it could have to do with maybe this is also, again, emphasizing not making any major decisions right now. Also, maybe even something contractual because of Gemini here in the Lover's card. It would be wise to tower with it, like, wait. Wait until Mars moves into a place that it's more comfortable, too. Let's see. Jemu. I'll practice. What do we have? 10? Capriciousness, worry, and perseverance. And I see that bit of worry back here too, but the thing is you're not in a bad space. I mean, if you are emotionally, then again, I guess either way, no need to make any brash decisions. No, Ace of Swords. Oops. I was just losing battery. Let's see. I'll have to be a little darker. Yeah, wait. Because if you are emotional, you won't be able to see the fine print anyway. Do you know what I mean? And on this Gemini card, actually, it has a goat. So it's stubborn, And the goat is facing off. Well, Gemini's looking at the. Basically, this goat is looking at the moon. It's looking at it. It's kind of like frustrated with something, even though you have everything. Does that make sense? So is there any place that you're actually being a little ungrateful or that you could show more gratitude? I didn't mean that rudely. I just feel like most humans, even myself, I forget sometimes to be thankful for, I try really hard. But still, it's like you do have to try really hard, For instance, most people don't pray, like I love how the Muslim culture, for instance, will pray 5 times a day. It's absolutely beautiful. And that helps. And what's cool is they believe, from what I read too, that they don't do it because God needs it, because God has everything. But it's because they truly, because it's written in the book, so it's this ancient text, so they're like, hey, this is old, this probably has some validity here, right? And also that prayer, they believe, truly does help them as a person in their spiritual space, and this happens everywhere, but I just love that. But not everybody does that. So I guess how can you pray a little bit more too? or include prayer in your day. Maybe this is also for some of you teaching your children about that, like about gratitude, being fortunate for what they have. Right, running water. Although I would love to be one of those places where you have to go to the well and like put your jug in and then wait and bring it up. It makes you more conservative. You know, my well's gone out before, and when you have to wash dishes or, you know, what have you, cook food, you pay attention to what you're using. Do you know what I mean? You pay attention to your resources, absolutely. More conscious, really. All the conveniences kind of make us a little lazy and foggy, right? So, just good to be aware there. There's a lot of wheels, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 wheels. I don't know what shape that makes. If you like put seven circles. I guess it could be like a target, or it could be something that's like has more space. How would you arrange 7 circles? Interesting. Remember, you have to challenge yourself sometimes to will not want to run up the hill. Do you know what I mean? And also to kind of kick yourself in the butt sometimes, because, well, life probably always feels a little bit on a slope for you, right? Like you have to try hard, you like to try hard. And I feel like that's a good thing, but I heard, where is it that you're unsatisfied though? Look at this Pisces card. Wow. What's that one say? This is 0 to 10 degrees. Duplicity, adultery, vitality. How do you overcome your hard feelings, like say anger? Yeah, look at this Cancer Scorpio card. How do you overcome? And then I see and talk about your deeper feelings. And maybe a little bit of reflecting on how you used to talk about deeper feelings. Do you know what I mean? Because regardless of where you are on the path, you're doing better than what you were before, right? Even when it's bad, it's always better than what it was before. But I heard that's not an excuse to take less than or anything. But the point is that do some reflecting in there, because again, I went back into that Uranus and 3.5 years ago. Is that how long it was? And wherever you have Taurus in your map, if you know, or anything to do with Taurus, is definitely a shift, right? Which is about, I was thinking about Taurus the other day, and the idea that everybody has a phrase, right, or a theme, you or I build or I use. Taurus is, they say now in modernity, is I have, but it used to be I possess. Do you know what I mean? So it's being in with this is also about letting there's things about having to let go to be able to grow. Do you know what I mean? Cattle has to, it's a grazer, so it has to move spaces. It can't stay in the same space for too long. Unless the pastures are rotated. Do you know what I mean? The opposite being Scorpio is like, again, well, let's see what that one has to say. 10 to 20 degrees Scorpio. Ooh, good. Abundance. And then it says problems with youth. I did see a little bit of that. There could be issues with... well, I guess this goes back into your children are not your own, you know. And whatever is outside of your control, I was like, I see like... it's good to speak up for what is right. But you want to just make sure that that's not a subjective right. You know, like a moral relativism kind of thing. You want to make sure that that would be something that, like, the right that is being said, like, you know, somebody's beating their child, like really like hurting somebody in front of you, like this is wrong, that somebody should speak up. You know what I mean? But like somebody else's political views or like the books that somebody else reads or the music they listen to, it's like everybody has a choice to do that. That's where free will comes in. And I guess acceptance and knowing where you stand is important, you know. And I see if you wanna, if you're concerned about the world or the earth or whatever, that is again outside of your technical control, right? I was like, you can't save Tibet with a bumper sticker, but you can pray. You know what I mean? You can. But if everybody did that where they were, and I know we've talked about this before, but I feel like it's important to remember, it's like, I feel like in ways of, in a mathematical sense, even something really practical, it's like, if a tree is here, then the tree is going to help give oxygen to the circumference of what the energy of that tree is, right? And then the tree next to it does that, and it goes out and out and out. This tree over here trying to work to make that tree, you know, thousands of miles away work and like be healthy, like that doesn't, it can't put all the energy like that, because then you're disregarding where you actually are. You know what I'm saying? And you want to be present where you are, because where you are is a present. Ace of Swords, right? It's a present to be here. It's a present also to be at peace. Yes, Judgment. Let's read. Oh, do we have time to read the poppy? Let's hope so. I hope so. I think so. I feel so. Dun 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 dun. If we rush, we'll miss it. Let's see. Here we go, the poppy. The poppy is also called the blind blow, weak head, flower of ghosts. It can represent boundless freedom, detachment from vanity, a symbol of fertility and eternal love. The beauty of the poppies made them an attribute of Egyptian burials in the tombs of the latter kingdom. The ancient Romans were among the greatest admirers of poppies. According to one legend, the god Morpheus stuck his rod into the ground, which took root and turned into a red flower. Poppies also grew in his kingdom of sleep, which is in the Wizard of Oz, right? Christianity can proclaim the poppy to be a symbol of the approaching judgment and a reminder of the suffering of Christ, as well as the flower of sorrow. And also sympathy then, right? And love, really, to recognize that story. It says, in modern times, there is a belief that so many red poppies grow on the battlefields for a reason. And supposedly it can be the blood of dead soldiers. Wow. These flowers were considered a kind of reminder of the cyclicity of the universe and the carried promise of a new life or reincarnation. Virgil, they mentioned some philosophers who wrote about the medicinal properties of this plant, and the essence of their treatise was reduced to this well-known fact: what is useful in small doses can be destructive in immoderate doses. I guess the flower, the bulb, and the bud all symbolize the cycle of life. Poppies are interesting too. They need ants. They need Scorpio, right, to open them up because they're very hard shelled. So if you have any placements in Scorpio, or that house may be helpful for you, I don't know. Maybe you want to... They talk to a lot about love and... about love and what love is not. Yeah. Remember, you have lots of options, and I feel like you do want to think about what your options are, and then I see maybe plan to make more of a change. Like, what are the changes for the coming year that you're desiring, especially when it comes to other people. And your own desires as an individual, but how do they work together, Emperor Awesome, with other people? Do you know what I mean? Men, I heard men and women alike. I love you so much, Capricorn. Thank you for this late night chat. I want to keep talking with you, but it's long now. I was trying to be efficient this time, but as I went along, I just went back into the easy going. Pisces knows there's no time. But we are working within a structure, right? So good to be aware. Yeah, right, Capricorn. Turkey vulture. Oh, and there's another one of yours, the crow. Raven. I do appreciate all your support. I hope this was of service. Thank you so much for being a part of this space, being a part of this life. Oh, you're actually last on the roster too. I don't know if that's ever happened. I did record you prior on the 21st as well, about a week ago. So maybe that's another thing. If something happens, like, give it a week, like, really sit on it before you pick anything. And I really feel like waiting until Scorpio, until like November would be better for any major shifts. It might even be December. Okay? Yeah. Wait, like, let October... I heard let this time grow. Okay? Give yourself time to suss out whatever, because there is an undercurrent of a feeling you are working through again here that needs your attention before you can make a conscious decision. Right? I love you so much. Please take care of yourself. I'll see you around. Oh, I haven't told anybody literally, but my books will be closed if you find this in October. My books will be closed probably until about the full moon. I need to work towards completing some previous engagements. So thank you for being patient. And otherwise, all the information's there. I'll talk to you later. Peace.